let's talk about E3. Let's talk about E3. E3's been in the news this week.
Yes.
Because for the first time in years, they are opening the doors of E3 to the public once more. 15,000 people, 15,000 members of the general public will be able to attend E3 this year for the nice price of $249. And yeah, get to basically experience the weird sales carnival of industrial light and magic that is E3. Yeah. How do we feel about it? How do you feel about this?
Well, I'm rather torn.
Like Natalie Imbruglia.
Yes, I am all out of faith.
You're lying naked on the floor.
Yeah. Hey, you never know. You can't see me in this podcast.
This is a family show.
It is. But there's nothing unnatural about the naked body. Just putting it out there.
What are we doing? Go back to E3.
Know. You're the one who brought up Natalie Imbruglia.
You're the one that said you were torn.
I am torn. So yeah, basically, I'm just really conflicted by the fact that they've opened it up to 15,000 people. Great. But £250? No, pounds, 250. Well, okay. It probably is around £250 at the moment. But
well, it's more in pounds because presumably if you're paying in pounds, you have to fly over from the UK. So,
well, in that case, it's like double that or even triple. And then you've got to buy the hotel on top of that to make sure that you're kind of nearby so you can get there. But yeah, 15,000 people, that much. Then you compare that to Gamescom.
Yeah.
Which is both. It is both the business side and the consumer side. And they open to hundreds of thousands for a much lesser price. It's a much cheaper price. And it's a bigger space compared to it. You know that all the publishers are going to be there for one thing, because this is something that a lot of people haven't realized, that Activision have got their own place, EA have got their own place, Sony have got their own place, even Devolver Digital have their own place. They are not actually at E3. They're nearby, but they're not at E3. And the other thing is that a lot of people haven't really kind of caught on, is that, yes, you can get your ticket to E3, but that does not mean that you are going to be going to the press conferences, because they are completely different.
Yeah.
So if you think you're going to be going to like get involved with the press conference, oh my god, it was there. No, you won't. You won't.
Yeah, it's a funny one. This like E3 has traditionally been like a sort of trade show in a way. And actually on a professional level, even when we were working back at Dealspo, so John went to E3 twice, I went once. And yeah, we spoke about Gamescom actually having done the business and public stuff for a long time now. It's the biggest show. Like technically, in terms of people through the door, they get over a 250,000 people through the doors.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
But in typical German fashion, they split it out. So you have the business floor and you have the public floor. So everyone gets all their work done. Everyone has all the meetings that they need to. And then, the public get to play all the games that they want. That's just not going to be the case at E3. It's not like Gamescom. It's not like EGX. It's not even a very good show for press, to be honest. It's more about sales teams, trade teams. It's more about putting on just a massive flashing lights carnival for suits. That's what E3 is really all about. It's never like from the time when they shut it off to the public to now. It's really just been that, just a parade for people who normally work in fairly boring jobs, really. And this is it. Like, I think actually for $250, if I went to E3, if all you want is a spectacle, and to be fair, the public don't necessarily always see that. Yeah, maybe it's worth it if you live not too far away from LA. But I just think, one, E3's been losing its relevance for some time, and as you say, like the publishers have been kind of leaving. But two, you can have a better experience online. You will see more online.
It's such a weird one to think, because I mean, don't get me wrong, I can see the appeal of going and saying, hey, I went to E3. I did E3. And if you want to have that experience, fine. But you were going to go there and you were going to queue. Essentially. Yep. It is like going to a theme park, and as a lot of people would have seen with at EGX this year, and it's very much the same at E3, some of the experiences will not be hands-on. You'll just sit in a kind of like a small cinema-esque experience and watch a gameplay video and be bombarded with all of these buzzwords and like, oh, look at what the character's doing now. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it magical? And that is what you're going to experience. As you know, we've seen from Gamescom, we've seen from E3, that's what you're going to get. And yes, I get that they need to make E3 more relevant. They need to get the punters in because, frankly, the business is leaving there because it's just not a good investment.
Yeah.
At all. But the thing that gets it for me is that it's, as you pointed out, Matt, it's not exactly efficient in terms of the business side of things and for journalists to go around and actually cover the games. When you throw in the public, if they haven't put that separation out, and I really do hope they have, but if they don't put that separation out, it's just going to make it hellish for everybody, because you're going to have the business and the media there, and you're going to have 15,000 members of the public walking around, and it's not, from what I understand, the biggest space in the first place.
No.
So, unless there have been some huge changes to the way they lay it out and even handle the booths, I do wonder whether it's going to be a successful event for those that turn up. But likewise, I'm probably never going to go to E3, so that's fine. I'll just stay at home and watch everything and forget what sleep is.
But I mean,
damn.
But you do that. Like, here's the thing: these shows are more accessible from your couch than they are when you're there. Like, because when you're there, you're having to like wade through crowds of people that are going to be even bigger this year because there's going to be 15,000 more, which may very well kind of have an effect on people trying to do jobs there. You wonder.
Yeah.
But even then, like, just simply as a member of the public, I no, there is nothing particularly attractive to me in this venture for, you know, the money that I'd spend on it. Don't get me wrong. Like, if someone said, "Oh yeah, do you want to go to E3? Like, we'll fly you out there and like that'd be great."
Yeah.
And I'd be like, "Hells yeah, that would be pretty cool." And it is pretty cool, but for $250 for a ticket, plus travel expenses, plus hotel expenses, and then it's not a show set up for the public.
No.
I'm not sure if you'd necessarily get a huge amount after that, because it is different to Gamescom. Gamescom is very much, this is for you guys. This is for like 300, 400,000 people that are coming in through the doors. Yes, we have a business area, but then all the publishers and everyone is going to be there anyway. So it's a good place to get business done. You know, they split the week in half, and everyone's gone on a Friday. All the business area is dead after like 3 p.m. on a Friday. But then you still got 2 more days of public action going on the main floor, and it's like a sea of people, and it's really exciting, and it's really cool. EGX, like, yes, you've got the queues, but a lot of people just go to EGX because the tickets aren't that expensive. The demos aren't even that. I mean, people have seen them all by that point. All the videos have been probably posted online by that point. It's just a good place to sort of meet up with people, and there are some cool streamer initiatives that go on, things like that too. I think E3 is a shadow of its former self. I think that's irrefutable.
Yeah. I think that there's another point I actually want to make as well. The fact that they're opening it up to the public, but there are so many events that go around that are at various places in America that is E3 really going to do anything to kind of like land make an impact? Because you've got PAX. Both PAX events in America. You've got your Comic-Cons, which a lot of games companies now turn up to as well.
Yeah.
Is E3 really going to make that much of a difference? I mean, yes, okay, you'll have the big announcements at the press conferences, and it'll probably be the first chance to get hands-on with them. But, I mean, there are a lot of companies that save stuff for PAX at various points in the year. So, is it really going to make that much of a big difference? Again, we're not going to know until we get there, and E3 needed to do something to make itself relevant again because of the fact that publishers were pulling out. But is this going to be a way to bring publishers back in? I at the moment, I think they're going to be giving it a raised eyebrow and going,
Yeah.
The E3 will have to prove itself, or the ESA, more to the point, will have to prove that it's worth reinvesting back into the event again. Because at the moment, I mean, I don't see it.
No.
But who knows? They need to mix things up.
And we haven't even talked about digital distribution as well, because there are more ways than ever for publishers to get their games into people's hands directly ahead of launch. We're seeing more and more major titles, new IPs and existing franchises use closed and open betas to drive hype. Which, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, the word beta has sort of changed its meaning. Like, before it was all about kind of, identifying and fixing bugs. Now it's a marketing tool, and it's a really, really clever one. It's a simple one. It's the Facebook model, basically. You have your closed beta of exclusivity where you've got content creators and a few thousand or a few tens of thousands of other people basically playing word of mouth, all that sort of awesomeness. Then you have your open beta. That's where you do your stress testing, especially if it's an online game. Loads of people flooding in. You might even say you can keep your progress. That sort of side of things is always a little bit nice, incentivizing people to buy the game on release. And then you roll it out. We've seen EA do this successfully with Battlefield. We're seeing Ubisoft do it successfully with their major IPs, like For Honor has been doing it, Wildlands. They've been doing it for a long time. Actually, more and more people are using beta periods to get people to play their games, because not everyone can go to events like this. So why? And it's much cheaper than holding an event like this. So why wouldn't you just distribute? And then there's Nintendo. And as much as we've sort of questioned the Switch, and we do Switch Watch and all that sort of jazz, the directs have kind of worked for them. In terms of a kind of money-saving venture, every single major news outlet covers a Nintendo Direct when it goes live.
Yeah.
Like, if these events are just meant to kind of conjure up media coverage, Nintendo have proved that you don't need to spend thousands upon thousands to have a booth at E3 to get people to pay attention to you. You just need to actually put together a fairly slick video and people do your job for you. And Nintendo, actually, in terms of live events, they're getting out on the road, they're demoing the Switch on, at their own pace, using their own road shows. So, and we've seen other publishers basically follow suit around the E3 kind of window in the calendar. So, I don't think this is going to make E3 relevant again. I actually don't think there's much that can at this point, to be honest.
I mean, the thing is, I think the one thing that kind of like helps it keeps it together is so the other publishers know, hey, when are we going to do our big press conferences? Oh, we'll do it around E3 week. But I suppose they could all just kind of like send themselves like have a conference call on Skype or whatever they use and just be like, hey, so we're going to do all our press conferences this week? Yeah, sure. When you doing yours? Oh, I'm going to do mine on Monday. Oh, okay, I'll do mine Tuesday. Cool. Right. See ya. Bye. That's how business works, kids. That's how it works.
Well, it's like Sony have their own show throughout the year. Microsoft have sort of toyed with it once or twice. In terms of like platform holders, you could really easily just completely ditch E3. I actually genuinely believe you could. I don't think it would make an ounce of difference.
Yeah. The thing is, if E3 went, you know what would happen? They'd all just go to Gamescom anyway.
Yeah.
Because they know that that's a successful event, that people will be there to get hands-on with things, and we've seen it. We've been to the press conferences there, and the madness of going between them. God, I remember the one year where we went like straight from the EA one all the way to the Sony one, like there were coaches outside and we went straight there. That's what you don't want, people. You do not want the stress of having to go from sitting in a place where there's a huge guy in front of you so you can't see the stage and see Pele get up and say things about FIFA, to then go over to Sony. And it's just like, you don't want that madness. Just stay at home, watch it, and
stay at home with a massive pizza and loads of beer.
Yeah.
Like,
maybe several coffees and Red Bulls.
Because here's the thing, you might get free pizza and beer at the press conference, but you will have paid several £100 for the travel and the accommodation. So, are you really winning? Yeah. So, E3. not sure. I do think actually, like, I think actually the remedy would be to get as organized as like, as Gamescom is, and have a massive public event. Cause that's the thing, PAX are massive public events. This is it.
Yes.
Like, I think trade only shows are pointless these days because now there are so many easy ways to give your audience backstage access. Like, we talked about the relevancy of the press in the past and how that's been changing for several years, and the rise of YouTubers and streamers and things like that. But now what's happening is, like, publishers and companies are hiring these guys, or they're sponsoring these guys to essentially do the marketing for them. Because people don't need to go, they'll just log on and watch PewDiePie play a game. Or get a whole bunch of Battlefield stuff from Jack Frags or someone like that. And that's proving just so much more effective than holding massive, ridiculous, expensive press events. So I actually, while I don't think while I don't think this makes E3 more relevant, I do think that actually down the line, if it just goes the whole hog and says, just screw being a trade show, let's just open it out to 200,000 members of the public, that would be relevant.
Yes, that would.
Like,
keep the press at the press conferences and leave them there, and then just have one big hall where where basically the public can go. That would work. If they basically went down the Gamescom public route, yes. But what they've shown with just 15,000 members of the public is not that.
No, no, it's not. Let's move on. From E3.